So every single time in the run to a fight, I think, why am I doing this? What am I risking my life for? What if I get a broken hand or a fractured skull or whatever? But you know, I don't feel like I have a choice but to do it. You know, it's just who I am. So I'm scared, but I'm ready. I'm ready.
Many certainly know the name of the notorious Andrew Tate. Quite recently, the internet celebrity was released from prison and broke in the news again. But prior to the fame in the media community and a title of the most dangerous man on the internet, Tate became popular as a professional kickboxer, winning numerous world championships inside the International Sport Kickboxing Association. Get comfortable and remove the nervous ones and Andrew Tate's haters away from the screen. Today we are going to show his spectacular wins in his fighting career. Here are Andrew Tate's 10 best knockouts. Here we go. Number 10. Cosmin Lingura. The fighters met at the RFX Fight Night tournament and instantly turned up after the referee started the bout. The Romanian athlete rushed forward and ate a left low kick from Cobra. Lingura was cannoning at Tate with looping shots for the entire first round, trying to knock out his opponent, but Andrew did a good job evading them in Cobra style. Tate easily landed his signature kick to the body and also put in the work in the clinch. Height and physical strength of Tate helped him to properly stay in distance with a shorter opponent and connect with hard hooks to the head. The situation did not change significantly in the second round. The fighters were switching the initiative and tied in the clinch after every exchange. Lingura only needed 1 minute to make it to the third round after Cobra landed his amplitude combination. Tate threw a left uppercut and hit the opponent's face with a hard right overhand that caught the Romanian fighter off guard. Andrew did not lose courage and exploded with a combination of hooks, smashing hammers into Lingura's head, after which the opponent couldn't continue fighting, hanging on the ropes. A flashy knockout win was added to Andrew Tate's highlight collection. And we move on. Andrew Tate! Number 9. Wendell Roche. Right now, Wendell Roche is already a kickboxing veteran and prior to facing Tate, held the Infusion Championship. Their fight took place in London on June 29th at Infusion 19. Roche was constantly backing and covering up, occasionally answering with whipping kicks and short hooks. Every time the Hollander was starting his attack, Tate was consistently stopping it with front kicks to the body. Champion stepped on the gas in the second round, but it was too late. The young American got into a flow and was not willing to stop. As he pressed the opponents to the ropes, Tate was smashing Roche with his hammers to different levels.
There's that body shot, great body shot.
Wendell tried to defend, but Cobra grabbed the champion by the head and thrusted a vicious knee, knocking him down with an explosive combination. Boom! Boom! The referee started to count, but Roche showed that he is fine and ready to continue. The fight resumed, but not for too long. A few seconds later, Tate landed various shots on his opponent, making the referee get concerned and step in. A convincing and dominant win earned young Andrew Tate the Infusion title in 198 pounds and made him one of the 2 fighters who managed to finish Wendell Roche. Well, Cobra did his job and we move further. Number 8. Adnan Omaragic. Adnan Omaragic was one of those fighters who was not inferior to Cobra in terms of size, but the fighter with a bad boy nickname couldn't stop Cobra's movement. On December 2nd of 2012, Tate participated in Infusion 3, Trial of the Gladiators, to identify the #1 kickboxer in the world in the 185 pounds category, facing the Bosnian in the second fight. It just so happened that the clash lasted shorter than the athletes' walkouts, so we won't talk about this rivalry for too long. Tate immediately took the center of the ring and stung his opponent with signature kicks like Ali in the world of kickboxing. Even though the Bosnian tried to occasionally answer back, Andrew did not feel his opponent's shot and continued to pressure like a true gladiator. When he pressed Adnan to the corner, he landed a precise vicious left hook followed by a right high kick that grazed and injured his opponent's eye, after which he refused to continue the fight. Although the bout lasted less than a round, Tate had a great showing of his mastery and dismantled his vis-a-vis in a playful manner, again not leaving him any chances. And we move on because it's not the last first round knockout from the notorious hero of our video.
Very sharp as well. He has a very good jab when he uses it. A nice high kick there from the Cobra.
Number 7. Shane Kavanagh, MMA. Besides kickboxing, Tate also competed in mixed martial arts, trying his luck in the fight with Shane Kavanagh, nicknamed Dragon Slayer, at UWC Ultimate Warrior Challenge 12 on June the 6th of 2010. The professional MMA debut went quite smoothly. Fighters went forward from the beginning of the first round. Cobra began the fight in his style with a left leg and threw a high kick.
Sprawl and brawl, he said, call it strike and sprawl. He said, I've got a technical striking background.
Dragon Slayer was not phased and continued to press forward, eating shots from Tate. After a 1-2 and overhand from Cobra, the fighters tied up in the clinch, which was seemingly a commonplace for a former kickboxer, but Tate surprised the crowd with a throw, taking the fight to the ground. Andrew stabilized the side control and threw many punches to the head, though they were not very damaging. As soon as the fighters got back to their feet, Cobra threw a left high kick, but suddenly Shane catches it and sets up a takedown attempt, which he did successfully, though sloppily. The fighters found themselves on the ground again, but Tate fixed his opponent's haircut and decided to get up and throw another 1-2, followed by a right overhand. This time the heavy right reached the target. Boom! And the opponent dropped down unconscious. The referee rushed to stop the fight while Tate had time to finish his laying opponent with a hard and brutal strike. Another vivid win for Cobra, and a successful debut in the professional MMA only boosted his fame, and we move on.
One from kickboxing.
Big overhand shot by by Tate. Lands square.
Number 6. Iulian Strugariu. The Romanian fighter Iulian faced Andrew Tate at RFX Fight Night Tournament. At that time he was already 43, which is a rather old age in the world of martial arts. We won't spend too much time on this fight as it was all over before it even started. Cobra was a clear favourite, being superior to his opponent in terms of anthropometry and being 10 years younger. As soon as the referee started the fight, Andrew momentarily took the centre of the cage, leaning on the rear leg. The Bugatti lover fought very relaxed and majestically, landing every strike on target. Properly keeping the distance, Tate was beating the poor Romanian up with his ruthless kicks to all levels. It resembled more of a fight between older and younger brothers in childhood. It's almost like Cobra got possessed with Bruce Lee's spirit for a couple of seconds, dropped his hands and ran at his opponent, landing his 1-2 and catching Iulian with the right hook. The Romanian went down in the blink of an eye and the referee had to stop this beating. Tate wiped his opponent out of the way like a Shelby Cobra car. Andrew Tate knocked his opponent in a dominant fashion after 30 seconds into the first round, not getting hit with a single strike.
A lot of different styles. I fought K1, I fought Muay Thai, I fought Taekwondo, I fought Karate, I fought points fighting. I fought so many styles, I kind of have mixed it all together. So that's just kind of how I fight now.
It was one of the fastest wins in the career of the American Giant, and another highlight. We are close to the top 5.
This time, not charging in. Oh, he dropped him standing.
Number 5. Miralem Ahmeti. In 2020, at KO Masters 7 in Bucharest, our powerful, bold American faced the young Serbian prospect, Miralem Ahmeti. Currently, it's the very last bout of Cobra in professional kickboxing. At first, a 24-year-old fighter from Serbia had a good showing and tried to force his rhythm. Johnny Sins in gloves was touching his opponent up with signature whipping kicks and knocked him down 15 seconds later with a vicious knee to the body. Everything happened so quickly that Cobra's knee almost pierced through the Serbian. stopping his onslaught. As he got up like a true warrior, Ahmeti continued to fight, but more cautiously. However, nothing could save him as Tate, who loves left high kicks, landed his leg strike to the opponent's head a few seconds later and injured his eye, after which Miralem did not get up and the referee registered the knockout. Another dominant victory via first round knockout. Andrew demonstrated his skills and ruthless character once again in the fight with a younger athlete. Number 4. Joe McGovern. Joe McGovern is one of those fighters on our list today who not only was on par with Tate in terms of size, but also managed to oppose him by blocking almost every strike of young Andrew. But it was only the case in the beginning. 20 seconds in, the American adjusted to his opponent like a true cobra from the Karate Kid movie and began to dismantle him with heavy hammers. While he was eating big shots from Tate, McGovern did not lose courage and went forward with the left hook, but got instantly knocked down in a mutual exchange.
Beautiful shot there, I told you!
Andrew ate the strike of his opponent, but his chin happened to be more durable and his own shot heavier. That's why he came out on top of this sequence. As he got up from a heavy knockdown, Joe demonstrated his mentality and character once again and continued to fight. But 2 seconds later, Cobra ultimately connected with his left middle kick to the opponent's body, making Joe fold in pain. McGovern took that as well and got back up, but Andrew got into a rhythm and this time knocked his opponent out with a flashy combination that destroyed the opponent's body. Joe's grimaces let one know how hard and precise the shots he had to catch with his body were, as he couldn't continue after the third knockdown. A dominant victory for Andrew Tate, public's recognition and respect in the fighting community, and also another highlight in Cobra's resume.
Oh, that's it.
Number 3. Daniel Hughes. We finally reached the top 3 of our list, guys. Here we have the most vivid and brutal knockouts of the notorious Cobra. In 2009, Andrew Tate faced Daniel Hughes at the International Kickboxing Federation in England. At first, Cobra was backing up and working with the counterattacks, occasionally exploding with combinations, but then he managed to find his flow and began to land many hard shots on his opponent, pressing him to the corner. Feints, change of angles and distance control. The young American already had all of that in his arsenal. Tate started with a brilliant combination to the body and head, hook the liver and uppercut to the head that sent the opponent down on the canvas. Daniel grabbed the ropes, got up and continued to go forward, but as we already know from the previous fights on our list, it was not for too long. After just 10 seconds, Tate knocked his opponent out with the same precise and fast combination to different levels. Like a true King of England, he made the Brit take a knee before him, after which the referee stopped the bout. Andrew was landing his heavy shots right through defense, which at the time resembled peals of thunder in the fists and lightning in the feet. Orochimaru's snake friend won another fight by scoring a finish in a brutal fashion. More points to the rating of a rowdy and love from British fans. Number 2. Richie Hocking. The fighters met at the already mentioned Infusion 3 Trial of Gladiators in the semi-finals. Back then, Tate was riding on a win streak and a tall and skinny fighter in Richie Hocking couldn't stop him. The Scottish was taller than Cobra and overall was good at keeping the distance, but Tate still managed to land his sharp kicks and pierce his opponent's defense with fast combinations. Hocking did a good job in the clinch and threw heavy knees. Andrew answered back on the exit, but his knee landed too low. As he received a warning from the referee, Cobra did not rush at the taller fighter, but calmly pieced him up with single shots, and when he pressed him to the corner, he knocked young Hocking down with a looping right hook. Andrew's hammer landed right on the button and Richie went down on the canvas. The Scottish immediately got up, But as we know, Cobra doesn't let his prey escape as he began to land his explosive strikes to different levels in an even more aggressive manner. It was hard to watch poor Richie. The collision of his head with Andrew's fist looked like a baseball game, but instead of a bat it was Tate's hands, and as a ball, Hocking's face. The brutal combination of amplitude strikes and Tate's opponent sat on his butt, refusing to get up. Actually, the secret to why Tate was so vicious in this fight is because Richie couldn't answer the main question of his life.
Well, what colour's your Bugatti?
Brutal knockout, and once again in the first round. Andrew was simply not giving any chances to his opponents, though he could be smaller, less experienced and skillful.
My technique from the beginning was to hurt him and to knock him out. I'm not there to play. I don't believe in playing around. I don't believe in taking my time. I don't believe in choosing shots. I've got knockout power in every shot I throw. I know I'm quick, so I land my shots and I win. And, you know, I was there to KO him. And, you know, I did my best and it paid off.
Well, dear friends, we finally reached the top of our list. Number 1. Sami Massa. Like it was the case with the previous athletes on our list, the German fighter Sami Massa was unlucky to face such an opponent as Andrew Tate. Sami became the first one to get beat by King Cobra at the Trial of Gladiators. Andrew was very composed and cold-blooded in this clash. No looping shots, only calculated mastery and discipline. As the referee started the fight, athletes took the center of the ring and began to feel each other out. As Tate measured the right distance with his favorite kicks to the body, he stepped on the gas and went forward to neatly dismantle his opponent.
Very quick. Really does mean business, Tate.
And after a few seconds, he spectacularly knocked the German down with a hard right hook.
Oh, there you go.
A beautiful right hand.
Massa went down in no time. As he got up, the German recalibrated and went to attack, managing to land a couple of his own strikes. But in a few moments, the situation repeated itself. A brilliant right hand landed on Sami's head. Another knockdown, but the opponent showed his character once again, recovered and rushed into action. Almost every strike of Andrew was reaching the target like his limbs were equipped with auto-tracking. Sami Massa is one of the guys in today's video who made it out of the first round against the evil version of Johnny Sins. As soon as the second round started, the German turned up. He landed a couple of heavy shots on Tate, but that did not faze him at all.
There's the right hand from Tate. There's the right hand again.
Sure, Sami threatened with his knees throughout the whole fight, but he didn't have any chances against such a dominator. After 25 seconds into the round, Cobra knocked his opponent out cold with a vicious right hand.
Good shot there from Tate. He did save the second round, and Germany is out.
A brutal knockout from Tate after a couple of spectacular knockdowns deserves the number 1 spot. Yes, there were knockouts from shots to the body or fights where Cobra made the opponent surrender and feel pain. There were also some bouts that did not last longer than 1 minute, but there wasn't such a spectacle yet. Convincing win in an absolutely relaxed fashion and a deep knockout in the second round proved that King Cobra is a quite skillful and tough fighter. Friends, Andrew Tate disappeared from the fighting community radars a long time ago, and perhaps right now it's about time we remember his professional career after numerous arrests and scandals. King Cobra has conquered multiple international titles, had more than 70 fights, and had time to compete in mixed martial arts. Even though currently Andrew Tate is a rather controversial and scandalous persona, he is remembered in the fighting community as a tough and merciless fighter who entertained the crowd.
I believe in God, and I think that the fire of truth will eventually destroy all lies, and anybody who lies in a long enough time frame will feel the sting of regret, and I believe in this. When I was in jail, I did 7,417 push-ups. I would like to get to 10,000 before the end of the weekend. So
I make 10,000 already.
I will focus on the push-ups, and I will read the Quran.